Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Another big exciting day in my kitchen. Where are we going? We're going to northern Italy today. I'm thinking Milan. You guys want to go with me? And what we're going to make today is pudding bandino di pane al cioccolato. What the heck does that mean? That means we're going to make a chocolate bread pudding. This is going to be good. This is going to be delicious. This is going to be something really special. And you know what's fun about this recipe? It's actually really easy and it's really fast. All right, so let's go over ingredients. Let's start having some fun. First thing you're going to need is some bread. Now, ideally, what you'd like is some stale bread. So here I've got a loaf of rustic Italian bread. We're going to do about 1/3 of a pound. So this is just under a pound. We're going to go a little bit more than, let's say, 1/3 of this, and we're going to cube that up. I'll show you what that looks like. And we're going to want to make it stale. So ideally, doesn't have to be, but ideally if you can cube it up the day before, spread it out, get the bread stale so it absorbs more of this delicious chocolate kind of custard, this liquid we're going to add to it. Next, you're going to need whole milk. We're going to use 1 cup of whole milk. Now this is a dolce, so next ingredient you're going to need is some granulated sugar. I've got 1/3 of a cup of granulated sugar. We're going to use 1 teaspoon, a heaping teaspoon of this for our whipped cream. I love sweets, I'm just gonna say, so I'm gonna take 2 tablespoons of my powdered sugar, and we're gonna actually use that to finish. It'll finish off the bread pudding. Now this is a cioccolato, this is chocolate. So here what I've got is a very good quality, high quality cocoa powder. We want 5 tablespoons. Now a little tip, a little trick to enhance the depth of chocolate, the richness of chocolate, is you add a little coffee. So we're gonna add 1 ounce, if you will, 1.5 ounces of espresso. Next you're gonna need some vanilla. I mean, what is custard without vanilla, right? So we're going to use 1 teaspoon of vanilla here, and I'll tell you, if you ever had the experience when you're a kid and you smell that and you're like, oh man, that must taste so delicious, and then you taste it, it's absolutely disgusting, right? So I've had that probably more than once. So you got to add sugar to that, and I'm okay with it. Next, you're going to need one of my favorite spices. Nutmeg, so delicious, came up through the southern Italy trade routes, which is just so delicious, all the way up to Milan. We're going to add just a breath of this, just a couple of swipes, and that's going to give you that flavor that you're like, that is good. I almost can't put my finger on it. What's a custard without an egg? So you're gonna need 1 whole egg. Now we're gonna add our bread pudding to these little ramekins, right? Which is gonna be great. We don't want it to stick in there. So we're gonna use some butter. So I've got here about 2.5, 3 tablespoons of butter, and we're not gonna add the butter to the inside of the bread pudding. We're gonna add the butter to spread it inside the ramekin so it doesn't stick. When it comes to bread pudding, I can't have warm bread pudding without whipped cream. I don't know if you guys are with me or not. So I'm gonna add 1 cup. I've got a gourmet quality, a really high fat, over 70% of fat, heavy whipping cream, which will be delicious. Sounds crazy, I know, because you're making a dolce, but we're gonna add some salt, and salt isn't gonna add a salty flavor, it's actually gonna enhance the sweetness. So we're gonna add just a little pinch of salt to our custard. Now we're gonna need some olive oil, and I know what you're thinking, olive oil on bread pudding? No, but if you were to add olive oil to bread pudding, you would certainly want to add something Italian, delicious, something that's grassy, earthy, peppery, I think, right? Where would I go to buy something like that? I know, I'd go right to my website, Cooking Italian with Joe, on our Facebook or on our Instagram or on our website. And for anyone new to our channel, we own a farm in Italy. We co-op with a whole group of farms to bring you some of the best extra virgin Italian olive oil you're ever gonna have. So just go to one of those platforms, click buy it now. We'd love to ship you a few bottles of Vito and Joe's extra virgin Italian olive oil right to your front doorstep. I think of it as taking a trip to Italy right in a bottle. So if you haven't been able to go to Italy, you could take a trip by grabbing some of that olive oil. Couple other quick tips, guys. You're going to want to preheat your oven 375 degrees Fahrenheit. You're going to need 4 ramekins, medium size. You'll need 2 large bowls here, one to mix your chocolate mixture, one to put your bread in and combine. You'll need a pan to put your ramekins on to place in the oven. And one of the ways I love to make this is with an immersion blender. So if you got an immersion blender, great. If not, a traditional blender, handheld blender will work great. So let's get cooking. First thing we're gonna do here, guys, is cube up our bread. So again, a little less than half of this will be great. Remember, we're adding it to ramekins, and we want this to be like a delicate dessert. So we want small little cubes. So you're gonna cut this about 3/4 of an inch. I'm gonna cut it like this, and then I'm gonna cut it in squares. And that's exactly what we're looking for, just like that. That size is perfect. So best thing to do here with the bread is spread it right out on a pan and let it set for a few hours or overnight, and that'll give you a nice good stale bread. I got it set right in a bowl ready to mix with my chocolate custard. Now we're gonna make our custard. First, let's put our egg, coffee, oh that smells good, vanilla. I'm gonna hold back literally like just a drop of vanilla for my whipped cream. I'm gonna put my sugar in except for a teaspoon, and that'll be saved back for my whipped cream, my cocoa powder, couple of hits of fresh ground nutmeg. Now our 1 cup of whole milk. Now guys, a pinch of my sexy Sicilian sea salt. Take your blender, whatever you're gonna use. 30 to 40 seconds, that is exactly what I want. Let that set for a good 10-15 minutes, because what I want is I want the cocoa to hydrate everything, to absorb all that beautiful moisture and marry those flavors. I tell you, I love the aroma of chocolate custard. And now I've got my bread, so we're gonna combine the two of these to make it come out delicious. I'll tell you what makes this dish come out even more delicious is when you subscribe to the channel. So don't forget, hit that red button, give us a thumbs up, help share our videos, and hit that notification bell. That way anything we got going on our farm, any recipes we got going on, anything with blogging with Boreal, comes right to your notification box. And I'll tell you, as I tell you guys this every week, it really means the world to me when you guys become part of the family, when you guys become part of the channel. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our chocolate custard to the bread real slowly. We don't wanna break up the bread, real slowly so it absorbs the custard. I'm gonna add maybe about 1/3 of it, give it a stir. See how quickly it absorbs the chocolate? Then a little bit more, again, real slow. Now I'm gonna add the rest, and ever so gentle, give it a nice stir. Once it starts getting really soggy, leave it, because if not, you're gonna break up the bread. And now I'm gonna go ahead and let this set aside for a good 10-15 minutes. Now guys, as the bread is absorbing the custard, we're gonna take a few moments and we're gonna get the ramekins ready. Take my butter, and all I wanna do is put a nice generous smudge, if you will, in the ramekin. The key is to keep the butter relatively cold before you start spreading it. Guys, that's perfect. Ramekins are ready to go. Now I'm gonna take my pan, put my ramekins in it, and I'm gonna go ahead and start filling them with our bread pudding. Very simple and gentle. Go ahead and take your bread pudding cubes and fill each ramekin. And take your time here. Your goal here is to get it nice and organized and get each one equally filled. Get all your little nooks and crannies filled. Bowl's empty. And now the goal here is I want everything very equal. I don't want to have any bread sticking up because we don't want anything to burn. We want it to cook evenly. I'll tell you, the aroma in here is good, guys. Now listen, we're gonna put this in the middle rack of your oven. Every oven has a little personality. Certain areas are a little hotter than others. We're gonna go about 15 minutes. What we're looking for is kind of like a cake, like a dry stick in there. We want everything dry. Quick tip is make sure you turn it maybe once or twice while it's baking to make sure that every area is equally cooked, okay? All right, so we're gonna throw it in the oven, 15 minutes, alternate it 2 or 3 times. While the bondino is cooking, the magic is happening, I'm gonna go ahead and make my whipped cream, because like I said, I can't have bread pudding without whipped cream. I mean, please. Quick and easy, I've got my very, very cold, oh, look at that, whipped cream. Perfect. I've got that teaspoon of sugar I held back, and I've got just a drop. Remember I said just a drop or 2 of that vanilla. Perfect. And we're gonna go nice and slow and mix her up. Perfect. It's exactly what we want. Now listen, I am the cook, and for quality purposes only, I gotta taste the whipped cream here. I think we're good. And I'm gonna put it right in the refrigerator. Guys, I just pulled these out, but while they were in there, it's been about 15 minutes, just over 15 minutes. I just did a wooden stick test. Everything's coming out nice and clean, so they're done. I'm gonna let them set, and then I'm gonna let these guys cool for a little bit, and then obviously it's time to eat. First off, the aroma in here, absolutely beautiful. All right, so what do you say? First thing we wanna do is we wanna add a little bit more dolce to the top of these, okay? So we can add a little bit more sweetness so that the first thing that touches your lip is gonna be something sweet. So I've got my powdered sugar, guys, And I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. I got some sunlight coming through the window there, so forgive me. Oh, look at that. Is that beautiful? Okay, guys, as I told you, it's whipped cream time. And we're gonna give it 1, maybe 2, maybe 2. All right, 2. It just cuts that deep chocolate so much better. Oh, yeah. Favorite time, taste time. Here we go. Oh, are you with me? Are you with me on that? The chocolate. You can just get that chocolate. It's so good. My mouth is watering. Is your mouth watered right now? Absolutely perfect. Love it. Right away you're getting the chocolate, more from the aroma than flavor. Then you get the sweetness and you get that sugar and then the cream. And what I love immediately off the top is you get that crunch. Chocolate, like deep. The whipped cream goes with it. It's so great. It's nice and warm on the inside. It's gooey, it's chewy, and you're grabbing that deep chocolate. You know, you can't taste the coffee, but you know it's there. You know, there's a deepened richness, a little bit of that nutmeg. Certainly one of my favorite recipes to share with you guys. What a fantastic day here in the kitchen, right? A lot of fun. Now, guys, remember, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, hit the notification bell. Be sure to visit us on our website or our Instagram or on our Facebook. Grab yourself a few bottles of Vito and Joe's extra virgin olive oil. Love to drop ship it right to your front doorstep. And guys, my most important tip, and really the reason we do these videos, is, you know, once a month, couple times a month, get around the table with your family. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna spend time with each other, talking about the day, talking about what's going on in each other's lives. What you'll do is you'll celebrate your heritage, no doubt about it, whatever that is. And more importantly than that, guys, you're gonna set some traditions for you and your family. They're gonna last you a lifetime. I know they did for me. Hey guys, from my kitchen years, until next week, mwah, buon appetito.